Hello, I'm Jeff Mirasola.
And I'm Jennifer Eve. Coming ahead on 5 Alive News, an extensive search is underway in northeast Oklahoma City for a missing elderly man.
Retailers are doing all they can to deter shoplifters this Christmas, and jockey Willie Shoemaker mounts up at Remington Park.
So join us for these stories and much more just ahead.
From the 5 Alive News Center, Jennifer Eve and Jeff Mirasola, Mike Morgan's weather, and Dick Pryor with sports. This is 5 Alive News.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Oklahoma City police are doing everything they can to find a missing 88-year-old blind man. German shepherds are combing the area around the man's home, trying to turn up anything they can lead them to Willie Garland Owens. Owens was last seen around 9 o'clock last evening.
It has indeed been a tense day for Willie Owens' family.
The thought of an elderly blind man being lost and wandering around in the cold is a frightening one for his family and for authorities.
5 Alive's Joanne Cardona has more on the search for Willie Owens and his family's ordeal.
Hi, ma'am. Sorry about that. I'm Officer Warner with the Sheriff's Office. We're looking for a gentleman. He's about 88 years old. He's blind, and he's wandered away from his home over there, and we just...
Authorities are conducting a door-to-door search in Willie Owens' neighborhood. They're hoping someone has seen him so they can find him before he falls victim to the cold weather. At his house, Willie's son and other family members wait anxiously. They're grappling with a puzzling mystery: how a man who's 88 years old and blind could wander off without a seeing eye dog or even a cane to help him.
Being blind, we don't know how he could have walked away, and just disappeared. So I don't know. I'm concerned.
Well, I tell you, I trust in God, and I just feel like that we will find him.
The big reason this is so disturbing to Willie Owens' family is because they say it's so out of character for him to leave his home. They say he rarely ever even left his front porch to go into the yard. Police have set up a command post across the street from the last place Owens was seen. It was last night about 9 o'clock. A neighbor saw a man fitting Owens' description walking through a yard. But today, there are no other clues, just a worried family trying to cope with a terrible mystery. Joanne Cardona, 5 Alive News.
The man who saw Owens last night says it appeared he was wearing a light overcoat. Authorities and his family are especially worried because they're pretty sure he's not dressed warmly enough for today's cold weather. If you have any information about Willie Owens' whereabouts, you're asked to please contact the Oklahoma City Police.
And meanwhile, this evening, store owners are promising a get tough policy towards Christmas shoplifters. Maggie Kennett, district manager for Casual Corner, is saying there are more shoplifters during the Christmas season. They're either professionals or people who steal things because they can't afford to buy them. She says most merchants are pushing for prosecution.
We do prosecute. Yes, we do. To make everyone aware that we are serious about it and they are not going to get away with it.
Okay. One of these.
And Kennett says shoppers should report people they see stealing because shoplifting increases everyone's costs. Security guards at local shopping malls are on full alert during Christmas to help protect shoppers. The chief of security at Penn Square Mall says the high visibility of his officers is a major deterrent to criminals. When most see the guards, they simply move on. Captain Dennis Clark says shoppers can do a lot to protect themselves and their newly purchased gifts. He advises shoppers to lock gifts in the trunk of their car. He also warns people to travel in groups and asks security guards to escort them to their cars after dark.
And if you're doing some shopping at home this Christmas, be careful. If you receive a call from someone who says they represent KOCO Channel 5 offering a trip for a very small price, it's too good to be true. Channel 5 does not have a promotion of that kind underway, and if you do get a call, contact the police.
Well, tonight in Project Challenge, we look at an educational opportunity where even the sky isn't the limit. In fact, it's the sky and aviation specifically which makes the career available. In less than 2 years, students at the Metro Tech Aviation Career Center can learn what it takes to have a rewarding and much-needed job. Careers are available there in diagnostic, maintenance, and repair work.
And through Project Challenge, thousands of Oklahomans are learning to read or teaching someone else how to. If you'd like to learn to read or tutor someone, call the Community Learning Centers. The number is 524-7323. Once again, that number is 524-7323.
And still ahead on 5 Alive News, the nation's winningest jockey mounts up at Remington Park today.
Toys keep coming into 5 Alive's Toyland as the spirit of giving continues.
And coming next, a campaign underway in downtown Oklahoma City to change its look. In Assignment, Oklahoma, 2 independent contractors are removing signs from now vacant automobile dealerships. Jimmy Connor and Ron Cobb spent much of the morning cutting off and taking down this old Chevrolet sign from the front of a now vacant building on North Broadway. They volunteered for the cleanup as part of Oklahoma City's Make It Shine for 89 campaign. Volunteers like these are cleaning up the city to prepare, of course, for next year's centennial celebration. And finally, cat lovers might want to spend some time at the fairgrounds this weekend. That's because it's time once again for the annual Rags to Riches Cat Show. The Oklahoma City Cat Club sponsors the event, which this year attracted 225 cats, representing 20 different breeds. The show is in the Kitchen of America building at the fairgrounds. Showtime tomorrow is from 10 to 5, and there is an admission charge.
Oklahomans are joining in with the spirit of Christmas giving. Jeff Wade stopped by 5 Alive to donate toys to 5 Alive's Toyland. Jeff's toys will be given to some needy boy or girl this Christmas along with all the rest of them. And this little guy really had his hands full. This is Timothy Hay, and he had gifts of Cuddly Bear and books. Really make this Christmas a merry one for some child. Timothy will be 2 years old next month, and he already knows a very important lesson, how to share. Little Laura Kelly came in with a doll almost as big as she was, and she peeked over the edge of the box to see where her dolly was going, and then she skipped off. There she goes, brightening other children's Christmases along the way. And our keepers of the toys tonight are Mike and Jennifer. They are over in Toyland now. Let's check in with them.
Well, Jeff, I think Mike's having a little bit of trouble getting through all of his toys over in the Weather Center. We have a kind of an interesting variety around here. If it works. It doesn't work. There, it worked. We've been having quite a bit of fun. Of course, all this is for the mayor's Christmas party. We have been getting literally thousands of toys here to the studios at 1300 East Britton Road. If you can help us out, please do. And Mike, I believe you're still having some trouble over there.
Well, Jennifer, have you met Bruce the buzzard? Bruce decided he'd come by the weather office and pay me a visit, but I don't think he can quite fit in here. It's kind of a tight fit, so Bruce is going to go back out on set here. This is one of the many, many, many toys that we have here that are just piling up everywhere, and we can barely even get out of the weather office. But Bruce the buzzard is going to be some children's good friend here in about a month when we give Bruce away during the mayor's Christmas party. Lots and lots of toys. In fact, some Tyco HO trains right here in front of the weather door. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and check the weather right now in Oklahoma City as of 6 o'clock. Skies are cloudy out there. The temperature is 42 degrees, and our winds are out of the northwest at 12, humidity 67%, pressure 29.66 and rising, and a trace of precipitation today, light rain this afternoon. The morning low is 37, this afternoon's high 43, very chilly. Normals are 34 and 57, and the record's 13 and 81. Now, across Oklahoma, skies are cloudy across the northern half of the state and fair to partly cloudy across the south. And temperatures range from a cold 35 in the Gage-Woodward area to a much milder 58 in the southeastern corner around Idabel. The northwest breezes are bringing in colder air still. There's even some drizzle from Lincoln County northeastward toward Tulsa and Bartlesville, Miami, the northeastern corner, slowly moving out of the state. But it looks like temperatures are going to remain very, very cold as this is a large storm system moving very slowly. You can see actually from end to end on your picture here, the storm takes up all of the central sections of the nation. On the front side, very heavy thunderstorms. In fact, a few tornadoes across Arkansas, Louisiana, and the middle Mississippi Valley over the past 24 to 36 hours. While behind that front, colder air with low clouds and even some snow flurries in portions of Kansas and Nebraska today. And as the north winds continue and a secondary front moves through tomorrow, it looks like temperatures are going to remain well below normal for the rest of the weekend. In fact, through probably at least the first half of the coming week. Now, across the entire nation, the only warm weather to be found is across the eastern seaboard, way over around Florida, right up through the New England states. But you can see the storm stretches from about Chicago and Indianapolis all the way out to almost the west coast. So here's tomorrow's forecast map. This slow-moving storm system will still be spreading snow as close to Oklahoma as perhaps Chanute and Joplin in Missouri, not very far away. Snow and 28 for a high temperature in Kansas City tomorrow with a strong northwest breeze, 32 in Denver. Now, there will be some heavier snow in the higher elevations of Colorado tomorrow. A winter storm warning is in effect for this area for potentially some heavy snow above about 8,000 to 9,000 feet, and also some snow in the northern Rockies and the Cascades with the next storm system. All the heavy rain over in the east from about Atlanta right up through Buffalo, 69 in the nation's capital and 72 the chance of rain in Atlanta. The metro forecast tonight, decreasing clouds slowly from cloudy to partly cloudy by morning, a low near 30 degrees. Northwest breezes 10 to 16, and then for Sunday, partly cloudy, a little more sunshine tomorrow than today, I think. A high of only 41 degrees, though. The wind chill down in the neighborhood of 20 to 23 degrees. Northwest breezes running 12 to 22 miles per hour. The forecast you can remember for tomorrow, 41 degrees after a morning low of 30, and then sunny, and someone's in my chair here, guys. Who is this? Sunny and 45 on Monday, and then partly cloudy and 45 on Tuesday, and then sunny on Wednesday and Thursday with highs in the mid to upper 40s. Do we have a name for this one as well?
Kangaroo.
Two of them. There.
Kangaroo castor. I don't know. We've got a little baby in there, too.
There we go.
All right. Female, no pouch.
Crazy. Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
And still to come on 5 Alive News.
We'll have an update on a program in Oklahoma that's keeping our highways looking good.
And while you're out this weekend, you might want to contribute to Toyland. Here is one of the locations where you can donate some toys. The barrel of Christina Onassis heads up this evening's Dateline.
The 37-year-old Greek shipping heiress died last weekend from an apparent heart attack. Today, about 100 relatives and friends attended the ceremony. She was buried next to her brother, Alexander, who died in a plane crash in 1973, and father, Aristotle Onassis. The silver-lined mahogany casket was placed in a marble mausoleum.
Meanwhile, in San Antonio, a major fire downtown. A delivery person spotted the fire this morning on the 18th, 19th, and 20th floors of the National Bank Commerce Building. No one was in the building when the 3-alarm fire broke out. Several firefighters were treated there for smoke inhalation. And in New York City, cleaning up after an earthquake. A 6-point quake was centered near Quebec, Canada last night, but it was felt as far away as New York. Windows were busted out of this Manhattan high-rise. But the damage was even greater in Quebec. Surprisingly, no one was seriously injured.
And we think Vince Horza is Christmas shopping tonight, so Larry Blunt is sitting in for updates.
What do you have for us tonight? Something about elections, I think.
Really kind of an unusual story, Jennifer. It kind of bucks the trend with what happened nationally here in Oklahoma. National election experts say they've never seen anything like it. To give you an update, 2.5 weeks ago, Oklahomans cast more ballots for the legislative races than for president. Now, usually, it's the other way around. More votes are cast for president than the other contest. One political science expert from OU says the presidential candidates failed to win the hearts of many Oklahoma voters. Well, someone who tried to burn down Oklahoma City's Civic Center is still on the loose. Fire officials say it was arson, and 6 months after the fire, they're still investigating. 5 Alive's Bill Mitchell has an update.
When firefighters arrived at the Civic Center last May, they were met with intense flames. The fire did $350,000 damage. The building has been repaired, but there's still concern about the person who started the fire. He hasn't been caught. The city's loss would have been a loss to all of us.
If the stage had been lost, it would have been an incredible loss to the community, because we have cultural events and entertainment events going on throughout the year. We have approximately 300 events during the year.
Thankfully, the damage was confined to a small area. Since the stage and auditorium were saved, the upcoming events will go on. Inside, the only signs of the fire are on the charred floor. And now there's additional security to see it doesn't happen again. Bill Mitchell, 5 Alive News.
Now, besides additional security, a new sprinkler system has been installed at the Civic Center, which they didn't have at the time of the fire. Some people joked about it, but Oklahoma's Adopt a Highway program is no joke. It's working. 7 months ago, state highway officials began the program to clean up our highways. So far, 700 civic groups like this one have each agreed to clean up 2 miles of highways several times a year. Now, that means 1,400 miles of Oklahoma's highways are being cleaned up by volunteers. All the state provides are vests, caps, trash bags, and signs. And finally, this evening, we have a winner in 5 Alive's blood drive, or I should say, lots of winners. 120 people donated their blood in our blood drive yesterday at Penn Square Mall. All those who gave the gift of life were eligible to win a $100 gift certificate at Penn Square Mall. Now, the winner of that contest is Kara Lee Youngman of Oklahoma City. Congratulations to Kara and all those people who gave some of their time out of their busy shopping day.
And it's quite a gift as well.
It really is.
Thank you, Larry. Well, coming next on 5 Alive News, the Shoe visits Remington Park.
And it was the battle of the top two today in college football.
Dick Pryor has highlights next, so stay with us.
The nation's top jockey was in Oklahoma City today. Hundreds greeted Willie Shoemaker in the paddock at Remington Park today. The Shoe, as he's commonly known, appeared just prior to the 8th race. He then mounted Native Pastor, but finished the race in 6th place. Turning to our own thoroughbred in Oklahoma, Barry Sanders, his stock, what a segue, yeah.
I think he clinched the Heisman Trophy today.
His stock really went up today, didn't it?
I think so, because Rodney Peete had to have an amazing game. He passed for 225 yards, but I don't think he really got over the hump, did what he had to do. So I think we can give Barry Sanders the Heisman Trophy, and you heard it right here.
We did it right here.
Irish eyes and Fiesta Bowl officials are smiling tonight. Notre Dame trounced Southern Cal this afternoon to set up a battle for the national championship against West Virginia in the Fiesta Bowl. The Fighting Irish break on top early when quarterback Tony Rice keeps on an option and races 65 yards to the end zone. He's an outstanding player. Leading receiver Ricky Waters and leading rusher Tony Brooks were suspended for missing a team dinner. They weren't missed. Mark Green scores on a 2-yard run, and Notre Dame leads 14-0 first quarter. Southern Cal cuts the lead to 14-7 on a 1-yard run by Scott Lockwood. But a couple of minutes later, Pete has a pass picked off and returned for a touchdown. And that pretty much ices it. Notre Dame leads 20-7 at halftime. The Irish complete the regular season 11-0 with a 27-10 win. Notre Dame, rated number 1, beats number 2 Southern Cal. 8th-ranked Arkansas fell to Miami. The Hogs made that game a lot closer than expected. In the first quarter, Arkansas's Kendall Traynor boots a long field goal from 58 yards. It hits the crossbar and drops over. The score is tied at 3. Miami goes back on top after this play. Steve Walsh fakes. Nice fake. Back to pass. Unloads to Julius Dawkins. He takes it down to the 1-yard line and sets up a short plunge by Cleveland Gary. In the second quarter, the Hogs' Barry Foster breaks through the line of scrimmage and races 80 yards untouched to make it 10-10. Yeah, nobody's going to catch him. The Hurricanes go back ahead 15-10 on a field goal and a safety, but Quinn Grovey fires a 16-yard touchdown pass to Foster, and it's 16-15. Grovey scrambles, keeps scrambling, finds his man open, throws, complete at the 5. He goes in for the touchdown. Miami pulls out the victory when Carlos Huerta boots a 20-yard field goal with 5.5 minutes to play. Miami wins 18-16. Now back to the scoreboard top 20. Number 5, Florida State takes on Florida tonight. 14th rated Houston clobbered Rice 45-14. Also tonight, LSU rated 16th meets Tulane, and 20th rated Georgia beat Georgia Tech this afternoon 24-3. Tulsa beat Colorado State 32-28. TJ Rubley threw 4 touchdown passes. Tennessee over Vanderbilt. Mississippi beat Mississippi State 33-6, and Temple defeated Boston College. NAIA playoffs this afternoon. Number 1, Central Arkansas fell to 4th-ranked Southeastern, 21-14. The Savages host Adams State next week. Following this newscast, 5 Alive Sports presents Bowl Bound, a half-hour special on the OU and OSU football seasons. OU takes on Nevada, Las Vegas tonight in the semifinals of the Maui Classic basketball tournament in Hawaii. It should be a dandy. The Sooners are ranked 4th in the nation. The Runnin' Rebels are 8th. OU won its opener in the Classic last night, 97-93 over Ohio State. One of the Sooners' new players, William Davis, rebounds and feeds to Tyrone Jones to Stacey King, and he scores. Stacey finished with a team-high 34 points. The Sooners rallied from 7 points down in the second half. They had a tough time stopping the Buckeyes' Jay Burson. He cuts through the lane and scores. Burson led all scorers with 38 points. OU had to play smart to protect its lead in the final minute, and did. Andre Wiley scores at the end. 5 Sooners scored in double figures. Tip-off for the OU Nevada-Las Vegas game is set for 10:30 Oklahoma time. At 7 o'clock, Oklahoma State begins its regular season at Pittsburgh. The OSU women played this afternoon in the championship game of their own Jimco Cowgirls Classic, and Stephen F. Austin knocked off the Cowgirls in overtime, 85-75. to 84.
Be kind of tough to play ball in Maui about this time, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah,
Your
right.
mind wanders just a little bit, doesn't it?
Waikiki.
It should be a great game, though, tonight.
It will be.
Yeah.
We need to wave at the Tom Stevens family. Tom is a director out here at the station, and he directed his family here from Kansas City. Nice to see you folks out here. Appreciate it. And meanwhile, we'll be right back.
Here's another look at the forecast you can remember.
Tom Stevens' family is here from all the way from Kansas City.
Yeah, they didn't get nice weather. I've got family in town also. Mike, what happened to the sunshine?
Well, it disappeared. I can say, though, we'll see increasing sunshine tomorrow. Partly cloudy most of the day, but it will be cold with that wind chill down around 20 degrees. An afternoon high temperature in the neighborhood of 41. More like the dead of winter than November. Dick?
Yeah, it is chilly out there. Barry Sanders has won another award. I'll tell you about it tonight at 10 o'clock. It's not the Heisman Trophy, but it is fairly prestigious, so stay tuned for that.
All right. And meanwhile, coming up at 10 o'clock on 5 Alive News tonight, this evening on Assignment Oklahoma, Ron Stahl will tell us about some changes underway at the old golf house in El Reno.
And we need your help. We want to recognize people who have made a difference in their community, people who give of themselves to help others. You can help us by nominating your friends, neighbors, and others for our 5-star salute. Just send us a note on why you think this person should be recognized as a 5-star salute winner. Be sure to include a picture and send the information to 5-star salute nominations. Post Office Box 14555. Of course, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Our zip code is 73113. And we will give them their due on the air. And
there are a lot of folks who need special recognition, do a lot of good things in the community.
And also, don't forget about the toys behind us that's growing and growing.
Yes, 1300 East Britton Road. We'd love to talk with you and take your picture as you come in. So anyway, thanks for joining us tonight.
See you at 10.